All right, viewers. Tonight I'm going to show a little bit of the assembly techniques that I'm using. Right now I'm doing the Yoppsicles, and I am also installing a few bulb holders, old school stuff, like this. Reason is I want to get the bulb up above the playfield from the bottom. Can't really do that with the Yoppsicle. You can get a light, obviously, but you can't get that old school look with the bulb sticking up. So for locations like under the slings, which is what I've got right in this area, it's a sling. And these are the lower lane lamps. These will also get these bulb holders. Now I can't do these right now because the hole's too small. I misdrilled with the wrong bit there, but it's not a problem to fix. The other side is fine. It's just on this side I messed up. So, but what I'm doing is I'm taking the bulb holder, I'm just lining it up where I want it, and I'm trying to take into account the routing for the wires. Might should have put these around that way to have all of these on that side, and then have these along that side, but it's probably gonna work out okay. There might be actually end up being some benefits to having one way or the other. I don't know yet. So anyway, got my my holder in, and what I do is I mark it with just a felt tip Sharpie while I've got it in there, beep, like that. And then I take my Dremel with the chisel point, and I just zip, just like that. And if you look at some of the CNC playfields, you'll see a bit when just go around. It'll just mark where all the screws will be. I don't have the benefit of that, so I'm just doing it old school, and I'm okay with that. But once I mark it like that, I'm taking just a little power screwdriver, and I've got this hex head 6-point screw, and I just put them in like that, and then I pre-drill it, and I apply quite a bit of force, because if you don't apply force, what will end up happening is it will buckle this top layer. It'll start to pull the layers. And whereas if you're driving it in, it's trying to press those layers back into the board, and you end up with a nice clean hole that way, versus a tear out. So that's one little tip. And since I'm doing a bigger screw, these are actually number 8s, and so the thread is a little bigger. The smaller hole allows me to get the 6-point in there easily, and the 6-point hole allows me to get the 8-point in easier. Now I could do it probably in one step if I switch to one of my Christmas tree bits, maybe, and I just use that top head. But for this purpose, this is the method that I've decided on, and it's working well, so I'm not going to mess with it. So I've got my bulb holder. Let's see, get the right one. I want this one. And just get him in place, and then just right down in there like that. Now I'm thinking for this one, I'm going to go ahead and stick with this. Where'd that one go? This one will work. I'm going to stick with this one on this particular instance. And again, I'm applying some force to prevent any tear outs. And then bang, there you go. And that's kind of the process that I'm using. Let's go on up here a little bit. We'll do a Yoppsicle or two. Right in this area right here. I'll show you the whole process. All right. My Dremel's old. It's in bad shape. The variable speed is no longer variable. It's whatever comes out when I plug it in. If I squeeze this, it'll power up even. You get a little bit more boost out of it, like you want to. So anyway, just take that, run it down the hole, wherever I've got marked, just kind of like that. And then you got a set of holes. And then I take my my Yoppsicle. Oh, actually, I should probably go ahead and run this. Got to run my number 6 in there first. Some extra wires in here from the these are all recycled devices from eBay. So they've come off of various machines, and there's lots of extra wiring. But they've all been gone through and tested. Cleaned, polished. All right. So now we go with put our Yoppsicle in. And what I'm doing, there's a little marking. I don't know if you can see. There's little markings on the back. Let's see if I can get in here a little closer, maybe. There's little markings on the back of these Yoppsicles, and if you see. Right there. It's actually showing you the back side of where the LED is. So that helps you with placement. And then you got obviously your negative and your positive on this end. And you just chain those together and switch my ground. So what I'm doing is, get the wire out here, just lining it up best I can in the center of the circle. And then I'll secure the screw. So I just do that. Switch to that. And off we go. There you go. And it's kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of, there's a little bit of adjustment if you want. You can wiggle it. I put them pretty tight so they don't want to move. You might notice this guy right here. So I was really tight on space right there. So I'm going to try this. I've not tested this yet to see if it works, but I went and see why it wouldn't. If it doesn't, I'll have to come up with some kind of a jumper wire, but basically I've got two sharing the same space. And so if you look at a Yoppsicle, you can see this area here is a contact pad for soldering. Plus it gives the screw head something to bed into as well if you wanted to use that for, or if you wanted to put a one of those round connectors on it and put it over that, it would give it a contact area. Sorry. So you could put a washer or something. Just gives a little bit of a contact area for the screw that goes in. But if you look at the back side, you'll see it has a smaller contact pad. So what I've done is taken two of them and stacked them over each other like that. And I'm running a screw through the top. Now, hopefully what will happen is this contact pad, since the way it's designed, is it wraps around inside. So hopefully there's enough contact area there for those two to make a connection. And I can actually run one ground or one positive to both of these and then just use my grounds to switch. I don't know if that'll work yet. But that's the theory and what I'm trying in that area, because I don't have enough space. Even if I come, there's a hole there. If I was to try and go this way with it, I kind of run out of wood. It's too close to that edge right there. And I can't really go from this way and use that because this piece of wood right here is too thin. Now I could use a smaller screw, and I thought about that. Unfortunately, the only screws that I have are too long, and they will actually go through the entire board. I could chop it off, I could grind it down, but I think this is an interesting idea in any case, and I want to test that out to see if that's a viable option. So for the initial go, that's what I'm going to test. And I'm not going to wire this all up and then test it. I'm going to test this part ahead of time. All right, so let's do a couple more of these, and we'll call it a day. All right. Now, if you notice on this one, I didn't really care that it was flopping around and moving because I was just going to stop it short. And actually, it works better if you hold it from this end when you approach your final. Like that. Now, I do notice that, and I haven't figured out exactly what causes this yet, but some of them, they seem to kick up, and I don't really see a reason for that. There's nothing in this area that would cause it to lean one way or the other, but they do seem to lean one way or the other. So I'm guessing that it's the wood deforming underneath of it. So some of them are at odd angles in an upward fashion. Not all of them do it, some of them do it. And I've also discovered that if I back it off, and then go back down, a lot of times that's enough to correct it. So it's very peculiar, but you might run into something like that too, where you just get that, it's the difference between, let's say, it's the difference between like that and like that. It's not very much. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'm going to crack on with this and hopefully be ready to string some lights shortly. I've got an LED whiz on order. It should be here in the next few days. And I'm going to start running some tests on it. All right. See you later, guys. Bye.